what you brought up about people that are excusing Joe Biden. We have a clip from The View, ABC's The View, and this is doing the most. I think this is doing the most to say that, hey, there's no story here whatsoever.
Joe Biden's presidential campaign hasn't even officially begun, and people are trying to knock him out of the running. In the old days, we would call Joe, some folks of a certain age would say he's a little overly familiar.
He talks close. He touches you. That's what he's like. And I feel it would be really unfortunate if we got rid of everybody who was just an affectionate kind of person. Those are nice people, too.
I do wonder if she could have sent him a letter.
Well, that's
right. Like, send him a personal note to say, hey, this happened a few years ago. Now I feel confident in telling you about it. This one was uncomfortable, and that's her place. But are we going to get to a place where we can't shake hands? We can't hug each other because that, to me, was uncomfortable. I worry about that.
Don't sit and wait and say I'm uncomfortable on national television.
Right.
Because it makes us suspect of your
listen, you and I
thoughts.
honestly...
That was doing the most.
Yo.
That was doing the most. You heard a lot of excuses there. There was a lot of bad commentary, I think. The worst, I believe, came from Abby Huntsman. And she claimed that, what Lucy Flores could have done was just send him a letter privately. Don't put this out into public space. Don't broadcast this. Don't write an article about something that you deemed inappropriate behavior, something that was a personal experience for you. No, write a letter addressed to Joe Biden and just tell him how you feel. And then she made some kind of false equivalency to say that I'm really concerned about instances like this, and if that might mean in the future that people can't give each other hugs, people can't give each other handshakes.
Oh, yo, that junk, like when she said handshakes, I was like, what? I was like, that's such a bad analogy because that is not like anything like what Joe Biden is being called out for.
Nah.
When two people are about to shake hands, what happens in that process? When two people go in to shake each other's hands, what happens in that process?
So if I see your hand extending for a handshake, and I want to give you a handshake,
yes,
I'm gonna consent to fasten my hand.
And we're going to meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Nobody walks up to somebody, right, and just be like,
hey,
or I grab. Like,
that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. That's a horrible
Hugs
analogy.
are usually consensual. Handshakes are usually consensual. What happened and what Lucy Flores described is somebody that was not very well known to her coming from behind her, getting into her personal space. That's like you said before. That's not normal. It's not normal. Why should Lucy Flores? Why should the onus be on her to be like, you know what? I shouldn't share my story. I should keep it very private. You're gonna so what you want to do is muzzle her. That's pretty much what it is. You want to muzzle her because you support Joe Biden to some degree.
You know what? She's pretty slick though. She didn't say as much, but that's what she meant. But she had to kind of present that as a remedy to kind of cover up what she really meant.
Yeah.
I don't personally. Like, what would that actually do? Send a personal letter to Joe Biden just to tell him, hey, I was uncomfortable with this? What's going to happen? You think he would have responded? No, she doesn't believe that. But like you said, that was an attempt to muzzle her. She just couldn't say, hey, I just want to muzzle this chick. Yeah. She couldn't say that. She had to come up with some sort of narrative to actually make it make sense.
That's ridiculous, man.